What's going on, y'all? As Greg said it, back with another video here. Congratulations to Coach Prime for another accolade. What is it? Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year. Well deserved. As we can all say, brought a lot of things to the sports world this year. A lot of energy, a lot of excitement. And I mean, really made it exciting, especially for a lot of people who don't really know much about college football, and bringing that energy back to people who may haven't watched it in a while. Well deserved. I have my own reasons why I feel like sportsman. When you think about sportsmanship, you think about somebody who, for the sake of the sport, just really take the high road and just keep it about the sports. Even though it's a lot of personal things coming in, a lot of personal attacks, a lot of personal attempts to derail him. That goes a little beyond the game itself. I believe he saw a lot of things and he ignored it. He saw the cheap shots early in the year, not called, and with the targeting of his team. And I believe, just looking at his facial expression, the comments he made, he saw those refs cheating. I talked about that. People got all they have to say. It's the difference between intentional and just error, right? That's what I say. But for him to see all of that, and you can say maybe he's used to it because he played at the higher levels, and maybe he's seen some weird stuff at the NFL and college level. Maybe he's used to it. But to see that happen to your team and your children, your sons, that's a real sportsman, because you don't let it get too personal. Even though it's personal, you say it's just a game. Travis Hunter got hit. It's just a game. It happens. Even though you know you know what it was. You know what caused it. The result of it came from people really was jealous of you and your team. But you kept it about football. You never made it about anything else, because you could have, because it was there. But you know they just would try to flip it on you and play dumb, like, gaslight you like you tripping. So, before I even get into all of that, because I know that's what they want to bait me into all of that. Let's go ahead, just make it about football. We just need to get better. But there's more. There's more to it than you just need to get better. You make your mistakes and you help another team win, but the refs help another team too. You making your mistakes, but you make good plays too. And when you get them taken from you, that has a double impact on you. It has an effect on you. And when your players, the NCAA just don't quite let certain people play, lets other people play, or let other people play on other teams, or overturn other things, you just want to be extra stern on minds. And like I say, it's more than probably one. I mean, I think he maybe had 2 or 3 linemen that kind of got caught up in some of the transfer issues, and some other players that probably would have played this year. I think maybe it should come up in the documentary. Hopefully he would talk about it. But him being a sportsman, he don't never want to let that personal stuff override the game. Because you still got to make those corrections. You still got to learn how to tackle. You still got to block better. But it wasn't a 4 and 8 worthy. It was definitely at least 2, 3 other games on the worst case that was too close and was impacted by certain decisions. Very closely. I challenge you all to go look at these kids' record. Only 3 games were a blowout, and 2 of them they lost, and they blew out Nebraska. Everything else outside of UCLA, which was a close game all the way up, they ended up beating like 10. Everything else was like 8 points and less, 7 points and less. Out of those 12 games, only 4 of them were beyond 10 points. So it just shows, man, he never complained about it. He made little comments about him, and you have to be intelligent enough to pay attention to what he's saying and what he's insinuating, but he don't want to insinuate too much, because he don't want to have to, make that what it's all about, because the circus is just going to run with that. They're going to run with the fact that he said, hey, that was wrong. Even though it is wrong, they're going to make it all about that. But being a sportsman, that's why I see him as a sportsman. Yeah, he did a lot for the sports, but he really is a good example of sportsmanship. Even with people doing you dirty and making it way outside of what the game's supposed to be about. I'm not going to stoop to your level. man, I'm not going to get personal, and I'm not going to even get emotional about it, because it's just a game. Sportsman. Who else done it like that? On a high level, on the big stage, starting off the season, nobody expect you to win. You go beat TCU, you shock the world. Everybody's running, big noon. Then you go beat Nebraska. They just knew you were going to lose Nebraska. But everybody you beat, because they're not good. You couldn't do nothing without them coming up with an excuse. Every win you had is because the team wasn't good. But everybody you lose to, nobody say those were all ranked teams, good teams, most of them. They not getting no credit because they lost to you, because it's all about demeaning you. But as a sportsman, you never make it about that. You never let that get to you. You go through the season positive, encouraging, keeping the right attitude, not losing your cool. That's sportsmanship. That's what they try to teach kids, Other guy provoking you. A lot of times we got caught up in penalties where our players got personal fouls because they lost their cool fighting after the play. And they didn't call a neutral. They didn't call it on both players. They called it only on Colorado, even though both of them fighting. I used to, see more two players fighting. They call a penalty on both. You call it on the last man, and you watch the guys get the best of that guy the whole game, and then he retaliate. Well, they can learn a lot about sportsmanship with Coach Prime, because he didn't retaliate. Learn from the character of your coach. He didn't retaliate when people were going below the belt and making accusations that didn't necessarily wasn't true. Rumor mill going around saying certain things about him and his team, assassinating his character. He maintained his integrity, and for sports' sake, he maintained a certain level of sportsmanship. So, like I say, man, big ups to Coach Prime. Congratulations, well deserved. When you do the right thing, people acknowledge it, and it's bigger than just getting eyeballs and people in the seats. But it's how you go about what you're doing, what you do, even when people do you dirty. That's very respectable. And hopefully we all can apply that in life. This should have been my inspirational, motivational message. It should have been. Because we can learn a lot from what he's done. He's not perfect, but we can learn a lot when people just kind of dog you out, man, undercut you and undermine you. That you keep the main thing the main thing. Make sure y'all go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. This is Greg Said It. Check out in the description my sponsors here at Tanggula, and also check out my new program, the Debt Converter. Get out of debt 5 to 7 years. Check it out in the description. With that, y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all soon.